Okay, now that we have watched our video with Maddie and Dada and learned all about the famous artist Hokusai and the Great Wave, we are going to be drawing the Great Wave today. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our pencils, and we need to make sure that our paper is going long today. We don't want it going tall, we want it going long landscape, okay? Because we are going to be creating a seascape just like we saw in the painting that Winslow Homer created. So we are going to be starting our seascape of the Great Wave. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start over here, not quite in the middle, come down just a little bit, and we're going to be drawing this wave, and it's going to come up and curve over, okay, kind of like a hook. So I'm going to draw up and curve over. Is it really wavy? No, it's nice and smooth. A big smooth wave. And actually, I'm going to come back and I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm going to hook it down a little bit more. So it comes up and hooks down. Now for the next part of our wave, if you look, can you see how there's a letter C right here? Do you see the letter C? As in cat or cucumber? The letter C. So we're going to start drawing the letter C, but then the bottom of it is going to go all the way to the other side of the paper. So letter C. See my C right here I've got? And then I'm going to curve it over to the edge of my paper. So I've got the letter C, and it curves over to the edge of the paper. And that's going to create our wave. And now, if any of you have ever been to the beach and seen a wave, you know that the top of the wave has all that white foam on it. And the water, the clear water, is underneath it. So we're just going to be drawing some jagged edges. See how this? Just a bunch of zigzag jagged edges all the way back to the edge of my paper. So it's going to start up here in the corner of my wave, and I'm just going to draw some jagged zigzag lines all the way to the edge of my paper. So you just draw some zigzag lines. They can go in different directions. Be big or little. Zigzag lines all the way back to the edge of your paper. So finish up those zigzag lines. And do they have to be perfect? Nope. Do they have to look like mine? Nope. Just draw some zigzag lines from the corner of your wave where it's coming over all the way back to the edge of your paper. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw the lines of the water. Okay, so we're just going to be drawing some lines that are going to follow this curve. It's going to follow that C curve. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here. We'll start up here somewhere. So find a space, doesn't matter where. It can be up here, it can be down here, doesn't matter. But we are going to start and we are going to draw a line that curves back over. So I just started there and drew a line that curved. Then I'm going to come down a little bit, and I'm going to draw another line that curves all the way to the edge of my paper. So you see how I'm just kind of redrawing that initial curve, and it's just going to keep curving all the way over. And now that I've gotten here. You guys may not be at this point yet. You still may be able to curve her to the edge of your paper, but see, I ran out of room. So now this curve is just going to go down to the bottom of my paper and stop. And then I'm going to draw just a couple more. Just little curved lines. Just to show that water moving. And if I want, I can come from this one and I can draw a curved line down into that. It kind of just gives it a little extra detail, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But we've got our great wave, and it looks like the water is just sweeping up and getting ready to roll back over. So finish up your wave, and then we're going to work on the next two parts of our picture. Okay, the next thing we're going to draw is our mountain here. And if you guys were listening in our video, this is Mount Fuji in Japan. It's one of the most famous mountains in all of Japan. And you guys may have heard of Mount Fuji before if you've ever been to Beckley and eaten at Fujiyama. Fujiyama gets its name from Mount Fuji in Japan. So we are going to draw our mountain, and our mountain's going to be over here on the corner of our paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to draw a curved line down to where my wave starts, okay? So I'm going to come over and I'm going to curve down. Just a little curved line. Then I'm going to come over a little bit, maybe just about a fingertip width, not a lot, and I'm going to curve down the other way, and I'm going to curve it all the way down to my wave. Because it's like we're in a boat right here, and we're looking at our wave, and just on the other side of that water, we can see Mount Fuji. And then at the top, we're just going to draw a little smiley face. To connect our two lines to complete our mountain. And then Mount Fuji is one of those mountains that always has snow at the top. So we're going to draw a little curved line right here, about halfway down our mountain, and then we're going to have snow at the top and then the mountain at the bottom. So just draw just a little curvy line for your snow. Now, the last thing we need to draw is our sun. Now, is this sunrise? Is it sunset? We don't know, but we're going to draw the sun. So we're going to start by drawing our circle for the sun right here between our wave and our mountain. So I'm just going to come up and curve over to the mountain. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we need to draw all the different rays of the sun. We've got all the different rays of the sun that we are going to color in a nice pattern of yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow. Okay? So, what we're going to do to start with is we're going to start at the very top of the sun and draw a straight line up top of the paper. Does it have to be perfectly straight? Nope. Does not need to be perfectly straight. Okay, then I'm going to come over a little bit, and I'm going to, about a fingertip, and I'm going to draw another line that's going to be diagonal, and it's going to go over towards this side paper. Okay, so I want to make it a big wedge. Big wedge. Then we'll come over about a fingertip in, and then this one's going to go all the way over here. So, but I'm going to run into my mountain. I just ran into the very tip of my mountain, so I'm okay with that one. But I'm going to show you what happens if you actually run into your mountain. Because when I come down to do this one, watch how I do this one. Everybody stop, put your pencils down for a second, and look up here at the screen. I need everybody's eyes on the screen right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my line. Okay, I've got this little itty bitty line here, but then I run into my mountain. So what I have to do is I got to pick my pencil up, and I'm going to pretend that I'm drawing that line, and then it looks like it would continue to go this way. So then I pick up on the other side, put my pencil down. See how my line looks like it's going behind my mountain? So we're going to have to do that a lot over here with our wave. Okay, so we'll get started on that. So draw all the lines from the middle of your sun all the way over to the mountain. And if you've got more than 4 or less than 4, that's fine. It doesn't matter how many rays of sun you have, because we will color all those in a pattern, and we'll just keep going with our pattern. It doesn't matter how many you have. So finish that real quick, and then we're going to move on to the left side of our sun. Okay, now I'm going to come over about a fingertip again, and this one is going to be going over towards the left side of the paper. And I haven't run into my wave yet, but my next one I will. So we're going to watch how I do this again. Come over a fingertip. I'm going to draw my line, but then I have to stop when I get to my wave. Now this one, this one's tricky because I'm going to have to keep going under my wave. So see how my line goes under my wave? And then I've got to go to the other side. And I made myself a little dot right there. You can't even see it. Made myself a little dot because that's where my line is going. So I picked up my pencil, and I'm going to start again and keep the line going to the top of my page. So my line, it's not perfect, but it looks like it's continuing on behind my wave. So I'm going to have to do that again. I'm going to come down a little bit, draw my line over, and then I'm going to have to pick my pencil up and keep going, put it down, and then I can finish. And then I'm going to get one more, and this one is just going to go into my wave, but I'm not going to see the other end of it. Okay? So remember, when you run into the mountain or the wave, you've got to draw, stop, pick up your pencil, keep the angle going, put your pencil down, and then finish drawing. Okay? So get all the rays of your sun finished, and then we're going to go back and color. So I'm going to give you another minute to finish this up, and then we are going to get our pictures colored. So take your time, make it nice and neat, and you guys got about 50 seconds left. Okay, so at this point, everyone should have their picture finished drawn, and now it's time to color. So, Go ahead and put your pencils up and get out your bag of supplies. And we are going to be starting with a blue marker. Blue marker. And just like we always do, we are going to be outlining with a blue marker, and then we'll go back and color in with a blue crayon. So, first thing we're going to do, the only thing that's blue is our wave. And even though the top of our wave is this white foam, we're going to outline it in blue. Okay, so we're going to outline every part of the wave in blue, and then we're only going to go back and color the water with the crayon. We'll leave the foam white. Okay, so we're going to start, and we're just going to redraw our picture the exact same way we drew it. So we start with this first line that curves up and hooks over. So take your blue marker and just draw over that line. Okay, now we're going to draw over the letter C and swoop it all the way back to the edge of our paper. So I've done the top of the wave and the underside of the wave. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do all those jagged zigzaggy lines. I'll get it out here in a minute. These zigzag lines, I'm going to trace over them with my blue marker. Okay, and the last thing I need to outline blue are the lines of the water. So every line I drew for my water needs to be blue. Might be easier for me to go backwards. And if you find it's easier to start at the edge and then curve back up instead of going from the wave to the edge of the paper, that's fine. Outline it however you want, what makes it easier on you. Get all those lines of the water. And then once you're done, as always, snap that cap and put your blue marker up. Okay, so take a few more seconds and get your wave outlined. And then we're going to go back and color in just the water. Okay, just the water, not the foam. Want to leave all that foam at the top white. Okay, when you're ready, get your blue crayon out and we're going to start coloring. Now remember, take your time. We're not in a hurry. Color neatly, color lightly. Stay in the lines and fill up the whole space. And be very careful around your zigzag lines because we want to make sure we leave the top of our wave white for the foam. If you finish coloring before me, that's fine. Go ahead and put your blue crayon up and just sit quietly. I want to make sure everyone's had a chance to get their wave in. Okay, once you're done with your wave, then you're going to put your blue crayon up. And now we're going to go over and work on our mountain. So get your wave finished. And for this one, we're going to start with a black marker. Now, the only thing outline black is that very top of the mountain. The mountain itself is going to be brown. We're only doing the very top. We're going to do the top of the mountain with the snow, and even though the snow is white, we just want to outline it in black to make it stand out. So you're just doing that top almost like a square. And then when you're done, snap that cap. No, brown marker. Sorry, grab the orange. Need my brown marker. And then I'm going to do the bottom of the mountain. And then once I've done that, snap that cap. Brown crayon. Color in the bottom of the mountain. Leave the top of it white for snow. Color in the bottom of Mount Fuji. And then put your brown marker up. And then we're going to need our yellow. So finish your mountain and grab your yellow marker. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to outline the sun. Outline the sun. Now, when you're done, go ahead and snap that cap, but don't put your yellow marker up yet. Go ahead and leave it out because we're going to be using it a lot. And grab your yellow crayon and go ahead and color in your sun. Okay, now I'm going to leave my yellow crayon out because now I'm going to start doing the rays of sun, and I'm going to be going in my pattern, my yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, orange. Okay, so I'm going to leave these two out so they're easier to find. Okay, but I'm going to start with my yellow, and I'm going to start with this bottom ray of sun over here by Mount Fuji. So I've got this little piece down here, which I just colored in with a marker because it was really little. And then I'm going to outline this one. And then I always snap my cap. And then I'm going to color. So that first ray is going to be yellow. I'm going to leave my marker and crayon out, but now I'm ready for my orange. So I'm going to get my orange marker and I'm going to do the next ray. Then I'm going to leave my orange marker out because I'm going to need it again, but now I can get my orange crayon and color in the next ray of the sun. And then I'm going to switch back over to yellow. I'm just going to keep this pattern going. So if you're working faster than me, you go right ahead. We're just going to keep going in a pattern. Yellow, orange, yellow, orange. And you just keep your pattern going all the way around your paper. Oh, and I broke my crayon. That's okay. Broken crayon, still color. I'll have to get me a new one eventually. But for right now, a broken crayon can still color. Okay, a couple more sections and I will be finished. So get your pictures finished. If you're already done, that's great. Go ahead and put all your supplies away. If not, keep working. We got a few more minutes. before we got to get cleaned up. And if you don't get finished, that's fine. You can take your papers home. Maybe you can finish it later today during class. If you've got some free time, maybe during recess, if you guys are staying inside, you can finish coloring it. This is a lot of picture to color today, so we got a lot to do. So if you don't get it all finished, that's perfectly fine. If you do, that's great. But I am almost done. And now I have a finished picture of Hokusai's The Great Wave. So, when you're finished, make sure you put all of your supplies back in your bag, snap those caps on those markers, and I will come around and get them. And I hope you guys had fun today. And until next time.